Hello, and welcome to our sixth episode of Unbreakable Mothers. Today I'm joined by my dear friend Valentina with Where the Magic Happens, and we're going to dive into a little bit more spiritualistic healing aspect of motherhood. Let's get started. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me, Erin.
Absolutely. So I'd like to start first by just explaining our weekend and where we
Yes.
were. Valentina invited me to this beautiful retreat with her husband, and we did a whole weekend of healing. I mean, between meditation and breath work, cold plunges. And I was accompanied by my daughter. Her son was also there as well. And I think that's what prompted, me to want to bring you on here because, there was other individuals there as well who didn't have their children. And of course, they experienced a wonderful experience as well. But I think as a mother, it's a little different
It is.
and a little more versatile. And there's so many different variables, right? So I was really excited to bring you on the show and get your take on motherhood and the healing journey and how you've experienced the many phases and the constant growth. What do you think about all of that?
So, first of all, speaking about last weekend, it was incredible to see him in that place that to me holds my heart.
Absolutely.
The place at the retreat center we've been. I had so many ceremonies there, so extremely profound experiences, and always by myself or with Marcus or without him, and having him with me in that place was just pure magic.
Beautiful. So
Yes,
I hadn't realized that was his first time
it
there.
was.
He was so
Yeah, he
comfortable and
was. Well,
acclimated.
you know what? Since he was born, now he's almost 6.
Yeah.
And by the way, time flies. Should we talk about it? And he's been used to, okay, mommy has to meditate. Now it's like you have to be quiet, you have to be calm, not just mommy, but also of course daddy, because we both have the same lifestyle, me and Mark.
Yeah.
And so he knows that I have my instruments, I play the bowls, I play other like the drums, and he knows what to touch and what not to. He knows how to actually tap and play, and it's just incredible. It is
Beautiful.
beautiful. Or when he's I don't know, like upset for some reason, I'm like, okay, now we pause, we breathe, and we relax. So I'm really trying to, of course, like guide him and teach him the best I can.
That's
Yeah.
huge. I just started the same breath work. We're
Yes.
starting with breath work for
Yeah.
my little one. And just the difference it makes, it's incredible.
Yeah. And if you think about it, it is the tool that we all have,
Mm.
and it's an anchor. So you can really get your breath and allow it to help you to slow down, relax, and switch into the parasympathetic nervous system. Just rest and digest and calm.
Yeah, I
yourself down.
think that I'm just because I'm very new on this journey. For
Yes.
those who don't know, Valentina's kind of launched me or jump started this process, and it's been eye opening. I've always kind of prided myself in my strength and that I've overcome so much. And I'm starting to kind of now in my 30s recognize that maybe I didn't quite overcome so much as suppress, right?
Well, I mean, everybody has their own, journey and experiences and trauma. So I am extremely proud of you.
Thank you.
You're always ready to work on yourself and to be open-minded and curious to really like dive in and see what's behind the surface. And not many, unfortunately, do.
Are able to. And I will say I feel that being a mom has really pushed me forced me almost
Yes.
to look at those
Yes.
things.
Yes.
There's certain times with my daughter, she's so much like me. And then those behaviors come out and it becomes triggering.
Yeah, and
You
it's
get
like a mirror.
frustrated.
You
It
look
is.
yourself literally
Yes.
in the mirror, and I
Yeah.
totally get it. Like he was born, and I actually started my journey literally when I was pregnant, or probably like right after birth. Like, of
Right
course,
then.
like right then. And I always say he's my biggest teacher, and he's teaching me a lot of patience because
Mm-hmm.
I can get triggered very easily.
Yeah.
But when I do, the more, of course, I work on myself, the more I'm able to step back and observe myself from outside, like an
Yeah.
external observer. And the situation, I'm like, that's where you have to work on. And it's like, seeing myself like, like the need to control,
Mm.
or the need for something to be perfect, and perfection doesn't exist, but still there's those of course, like little triggers and red flags that are good, because we know, oh, this is where I have to work on. And it's like also seeing your inner child there. And so you have to not just parent your daughter or my son, but we have
Right.
to reparent ourselves. So that's literally embodiment in action.
That
Yeah.
was just so powerful. I'm just
Yes.
soaking it in because you're
Yeah.
right. I say often, I wasn't young when I had her. I was 24 when I got
Yeah, you
pregnant,
were. Yeah.
but I really feel like I'm growing with her.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
know what I
Yeah.
mean? And sometimes I have guilt about that because I'm like, I should really have my stuff more together for her. But we're
No,
figuring it out
because
as a
this is
team.
how it's meant to be. So don't
Yeah.
even go there with judgment. Go approach yourself with compassion, with grace. This is
Yeah.
how it's supposed to be. So,
Right.
because like focus on the right direction. And definitely I see myself, and it's funny because I'm like, oh my god, I'm actually doing the same thing that my mom used to do and I didn't like it, or I'm doing
Yeah.
the same thing that I didn't like to do when I was like, all these things, like, and it's I don't know, it happens in a heartbeat, but I am self aware enough to actually see and observe, and that helps me so much. So, of course,
Yeah.
the goal is then not catching yourself, but stop before reacting.
Right.
It's a work in progress. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, so gentle with myself, okay. And I'm Italian, so I scream a lot, literally, yeah. But the moment I do, I also, this is actually, I am proud of myself because this self awareness and these, lifestyle, and also I do it for a living. So
Yeah.
like it's literally in me. I'm able to transfer it to him. So the moment I like snap at him, I immediately say, "Okay, mommy, scream." But it sometimes, of course, it is him. I have
Discipline.
to
Yes.
yeah. But I also tell him, okay, so I'm doing it, but like maybe because. Well, sometimes I use words that maybe that doesn't understand, but literally, like I go trigger somehow. It's not you. I have to, like handle the situation better. But I also want him to express his emotions, because my parents, I love them to death, but maybe they weren't. I don't know, either ready to speak up their
Mm.
truth, or like guide me in that way. But now that I know, I'll definitely have to do it with him.
Right.
So I'm like, you have to express yourself, speak up your truth, heal the throat chakra, because now he's not even 6, almost 6. So he has to do it now. He
Yeah.
doesn't have to be afraid to, oh, I'm upset. Like, let's go over the all spectrum of emotion. I am sad. I am frustrated, I am upset, I am happy, like everything, and express, like, yes, definitely, this
Yeah.
is, I'm
And
teaching him to do it.
give value or meaning
Yeah,
to those
yeah,
feelings.
yeah,
And it just kind of gives a connection.
yeah,
As kids, they probably just look at, well, I'm happy, but it really, that awareness and examining why,
yeah,
what made you so happy.
yes,
And then let's bank that in our heads because we know that that's a healthier coping skill, you know? Um, I almost think, like you said, with the mirror, um, it just brings things full circle. Like this past, especially since the weekend, I just have all of these aha moments
Mm-hmm.
popping up, and where I felt like, maybe her and I were a little bit combative. I feel like I have a better understanding of why we are the way we are, or what our dynamics look like. And I also don't have so much it needs to fit in this pretty little box, right?
First of all, who said so?
Right. That's
Who?
conditional
Yeah,
thinking.
yes. And you have these haha moments after the weekend, because when you do, the inner work, you work on yourself, you have a lot of, like you touch a lot of points, you move a lot of energy.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe in that moment you're not conscious, but the unconscious is working for you.
Absorbing
Exactly.
slowly.
So then, of course, you come back to your life, the daily life, and you start like seeing synchronicities happens, or
Yeah.
like someone tells you something, and you're like, oh, so this is why it's happening now. Like, because it doesn't necessarily mean that, oh, now I'm gonna have all the answers during the retreat, or during the class, during the session, during the program I'm doing. No. Yeah.
You peel back a layer.
Yes, absolutely.
A layer at a
Absolutely.
time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we discussed that in the retreat too, when you're ready for it, when you're ready to receive it.
Yes.
And
When you're open.
I feel like my daughter, and seeing her emotions, she's 8, she's getting those big opinions and big emotions, and seeing her struggle to control them. I mean, I've done breath work with her where she's just hyperventilating, telling
Yeah.
me, I can't.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you can, just in through your nose,
Yeah.
and I have to talk her down,
Yes.
but she has big feelings. I see that, and again, just looking at myself like, geez, I've got big feelings,
Yeah.
and I don't know that I necessarily handle them the best
Mhm.
ways either.
Yeah.
So it really puts it in perspective, because they are young,
Yes, but you know what? This might sound weird, but there are separate from us, meaning that
Yeah.
we want to guide them, we want to teach them, we want to protect them, but they have to live their life, and they have to make their choices, and make their mistakes, and they have to learn. So even if
Absolutely.
it's tough for us, okay, she has big feelings, I can guide her, I can protect her just that much, and then it's on her, because she has to learn her lessons, and she has to grow and heal,
And learning what works for her, because
Yeah.
what works for me might
Yeah.
not work for
Yes.
her.
Yeah.
And to the extent of what you just said, I always said, oh, it's my mini me. And we have a lot of similarities.
yeah.
But I think more this weekend, I recognized and embraced how different we are. And that's beautiful
Yeah.
too. And maybe that's where we're getting conflict, or she's not listening, or I'm not listening, because we're very different.
Yeah.
Her perception, or the way she learns, may be completely different than the way I learn.
It's interesting, because it happened to me. When I was a little girl, not because we want to be generic, but like boys are more active. They're boys, and girls are more like, okay, more calm.
Dainty.
So me as a girl, I was very calm, and then like just like good. And he's totally the opposite. Like, he's a good kid, but he's so active.
Rambunctious.
He doesn't listen.
Yeah.
And so sometimes I'm like, really? But why? Because I wasn't like that.
Right.
Of course, his dad was even worse, but let's not go there. But then I'm like, I started to appreciate him without judging and embracing. But yeah, that's like, who said that that's wrong?
The right or wrong way.
Exactly. Because there's no right or wrong. It just is.
Experiences
Yes,
and learning.
Everything is neutral. It depends on the meaning we assign to it. So yeah,
And that's huge, the meaning that you assign to
Yeah.
it, because I'm very big on, breaking generational curses. And I do the quotations because I feel like everybody says that, but we all have them, right?
Yeah.
but it's changing those meanings. You know, it might mean something to me, or that's been embedded in me and I'm working to break that. I can break it immediately with her. I can just never even
Absolutely.
give her that thought to
Absolutely.
begin
Yes.
with. And then
Yes.
half the battle is
Yeah.
won, you know?
That's why once you heal your lineage.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I say that all the time that, you know, opening my business, I want to create generational stability. I don't
Yeah.
want to say wealth because wealth isn't important, but
Yeah.
generational stability and heal those generational
Yeah.
curses or problems. And it does. It starts with our kids,
Yeah.
with ourselves.
Yeah. With ourselves.
With
Yeah.
ourselves.
Yes.
But I will say my daughter's my main motivation.
Yeah.
If it wasn't myself that got me there, it was her, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And it keeps transforming and evolving into what that looks like. You know, what I prayed for a year ago, I have now.
Yeah.
But I'm still praying. I'm still searching for more.
And we can definitely learn so much from them because look at them. Like emotions are just like feelings. They're just vibrations in the body, and they last a few seconds.
Mm-hmm.
But what lasts when we're sad, it's just a fraction. But then we add and associate the thoughts of what happened in the past when we were sad, and then we start like thinking and overthinking and spiraling, and we're sad for hours, for days, for months. Damn! Oh my god! Boom. Okay, now I'm happy.
Blocks,
That's
toys,
it. Like,
let's go.
Yes. So yeah.
Yeah. No, I've seen it with my daughter and saying the big emotions. I've seen her have like full-blown meltdowns
Yes.
to where I'm a very analytical mind. So I'll start asking, hey, what's wrong? Why do you? And I'm trying to help. It comes from a good place.
Yeah, of course.
But I
Yeah.
see that it triggers her
Yeah.
to where, and she's very good at vocalizing and verbalizing
That's
herself
good.
to where
That's
she'll just
good.
be like, Mom, I just need a minute.
Yeah.
You're making it worse.
Yes.
And that, the first time she said that, I was like, oh gosh, struck me in the gut, But she was right.
Yeah,
My
exactly.
personality exacerbated that feeling
Yeah.
where she probably would have drifted off and lost
Yeah.
it in a minute.
She
I
just
held on to it for
wanna
15
leave
minutes.
That feeling, let me just
Yes.
embrace the feeling, go through that the only way I was through.
Yeah.
And so just without resisting, surrendering to the feeling of uncomfort, sadness, or like whatever.
For a moment.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And then it's gone. And then we alchemize it. I was telling her, like, do you believe in magic? Because you can be your own alchemist. You can change energy, emotions. You can create your own life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's so true.
Yes.
I mean, the way my life has turned, I believe that wholeheartedly. And if we can teach that to them at such a young age,
Yes.
imagine the things they can do in this world.
That's why I always say I wish but then again, I stopped there because it wasn't my time. So I started this journey. I mean, definitely, I was older than you. So, but it's okay. I mean, that's fine.
And I love that you say that too, because I've said on one of the other shows that I've always felt behind. Like I haven't been married yet. I would like more
Yeah,
children. I
yes,
always felt
yeah.
behind.
By the time I should.
Right. Setting those standards and limiting beliefs. But the more that I dive in, especially with the women in this community, the more I'm like, I'm pretty early on in this.
Oh, yeah, girl, yes.
So I feel almost like I feel blessed. I feel
Yes.
lucky that the course of events, I had a really hard upbringing in teenage years, adolescence, but it brought me here. It brought me to that clarity to be able to break generations worth of stuff
Yeah.
and then kind of start a fresh slate, a clean road,
Yeah.
cleaner road,
But it's beautiful because when you see yourself with different eyes, the eyes of love and acceptance, and it's okay. Oh, well, actually, now I'm feeling blessed instead of feeling behind.
Yeah.
The reality, your entire world changes.
It really does. And you start to see the opportunities. You start to see the positive things. I see a ton of people everywhere in the world these days, not just here in Naples or in Southwest Florida, but anywhere, like stuck in the negative.
Oh,
And it's a
yes.
loop.
It's a loop.
It's a
It's a
loop.
program. It's like they live in
Hmm.
autopilot, but they don't realize it. So I used to, when I started this, I used to think, oh my God, I want my family, my friends, my loved ones to come with me. Like I force them to like, but then I understood that it's not my journey. It's their own journey. So what I can do, I can just like be me, and I can shift my energy. I can raise my vibration, my frequency. And
Yeah.
then, of course, it's all about energy. So they will then tune into mine and will probably approach me. Oh, something changed. What did you do? They will start asking questions. And then you can, okay, this is what, but you can force people. So, and if they're not awakened, they're not, they can see, they can hear, they just,
Autopilot.
and it to me it's sad because then at the end of their life they would just look back and like, what did I do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. And to be able to pause.
Yeah.
We were joking as we were coming in here because I was running all around
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
morning, just to be able to pause and accept where
Yes.
you're at, what's going on. Again, no good or bad.
No.
There's just opportunity.
Yeah.
There's tomorrow, there's
Yes.
tonight. You can
Yeah.
change anything right now.
Yes,
We could walk
absolutely.
out
Like
of
it's
here
up
and,
to you.
yeah.
What you think, what you do, what you feel, and so many. This is also what I teach because so many women are like living in constant burnout and survival in this
Mm-hmm.
loop of like I have to carry it all, and they're so miserable, but they're stuck. They don't know. Just like okay, pause, come back, not to your mind because you're living in your mind, to your body. And
I love that you said that because that's something I'm realizing for me. I'm so sorry to cut
no,
you off,
don't.
but the
Yeah.
mind and the body, they're meant to be as one. But I think a lot of us, I know for me personally, there's a gap there, there's a separation. And I need to get more in tune with my body. Your body knows.
So the mind, the body, and the soul. It's a it's a partnership.
Mm,
Um, you are a soul. This
mm,
is who you are. You're not your body. You're not your mind. You have a body. You have a mind
right.
here. But then you go back and you're just your
Your soul.
soul. Your heart knows. The mind thinks. And so it's a but this is when they say the mind body soul connection, and you're like, oh yes, yeah, sure, but if it's not, if you don't embody it, if you don't truly deeply understand the meaning, you don't actually get it.
Yeah.
So first it was mindset for me. So when I started this journey and I awakened, so I started, of course, speaking, like listening to my intuition, my heart, my soul. And then
Mm,
it's like, okay, mindset, the mindset work. But there was a piece missing, the body. The body, who's the mind? We think the mind is the mind, but the body is the mind because the body, the unconscious mind, the nervous system, I keep repeating and I will till I transition. There's the trauma, the emotions, the memories, the identity, the blueprint. Everything is stored in the nervous system, in the body, all
yeah.
the cells. That's why we do, like energy work, and like it's energy, is emotions, is just our energy emotions, so stuck. So it's you have to, okay, I get it with my mind, of course, with my soul and the body. And it's a partnership. We don't judge the mind because we're overthinking. We don't judge the body because, oh my God, all the that I have inside the traumas.
Yeah.
Yeah, we accept. This is the journey. It just accepting because we're healthy. We have a body, we can move. I mean, yes, we are facing maybe, I don't know, struggles and challenges, but we can overcome it. So
Oh,
this is the beauty of
absolutely.
life.
Absolutely. And having those align is,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
just now realizing, but it's important.
that's the
Very.
word, alignment. It's all about alignment and balance and coherence, because if you're out of sync because of life and stress and anxiety, you're disconnected.
Well, you had said too with the soul, and I growing up, I've said this before to you. I was diagnosed with anxiety. I was diagnosed with, other behavioral type of diagnoses, and I've always had like a very strong, I say now,
Yes.
intuition,
Yes.
and the anxiety. There was a reason for it. Like now, as I'm diving in, I'm like, well, that's why I felt anxious, because that wasn't safe. Or, for whatever reason, that anxiety, I was triggered. I wasn't the type to be just in a room and randomly, that's sort of how it was portrayed to me. Like, oh, well, your anxiety doesn't fit the situation, or conditioned,
Yeah,
right? I was
yeah.
conditioned to think something was
Boxes.
wrong with
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
And now as I'm older, I rely on that. When I have a bad gut feeling, I'm like, let me check my surroundings. What's going on?
Yeah.
Who's in my vicinity? Because there's a reason that I'm feeling that. And the same with a warmth. When I have that welcoming, or it just feels like home when I'm in somebody's presence,
Yeah.
that's also my intuition in a
Yes.
good way.
Yes. Yeah.
So I went through personally, well into my 20s, thinking that something was wrong with me, thinking that I had this diagnosis that I needed medication to fix. And that's a snowball effect. And unfortunately, now having that clarity, I see like our world today, especially in America, we overprescribe,
We do.
overdiagnose,
Yes.
instant gratification, and then you have people in their 30s and 40s and 50s, and we're really just children mentally, you know what I mean? Because we haven't had that chance to emotionally grow.
Yeah.
So those are the kinds of things that I'm recognizing right now. And again, dealing with my little one who has these big emotions, I almost feel like it's my time to receive it so that I can help her with it.
Definitely, motherhood is a blessing if you approach it in this. It is a blessing, of course, but like
Regardless,
when
yeah.
you are aware of all of this is that we're saying, like we can actually use it in our and their favor, and it's just beautiful. It's such an incredible tool.
Oh,
Yes,
absolutely. We're the
yes.
directors. And to that extent, there's been a few things I noticed with my daughter, like maybe saying not so nice things to herself. And
Yeah.
it really offended me when I heard it, like, oh gosh, why is she talking to herself like that? But then I had to look at myself and say, I'm talking to myself like that. She's learning this from me.
Because you can tell them, no, you don't do this. But if I don't know,
You're beautiful,
don't
right?
don't eat candies, and then eat candy
Shoving
all day.
candy.
Yeah, so that's what they don't really listen to you. They see what you do. So yeah, that's the best example. So definitely, self language is important.
But with that autopilot, I didn't notice
Of
I was
course,
doing
you
it.
didn't notice.
I had no
Yes,
clue.
yes.
For whatever reason,
Yeah.
I'm now starting to notice it.
Yes.
Because I thought I always censored her pretty well for her age appropriate. But we're together 24/7. There's going to be weak moments for mommy and strong moments for mommy. And now I'm more conscious of it. And I didn't realize that I would just throw out such harsh words to myself.
Yeah.
Oh, I suck, or oh, I this, or
Yeah.
just habitually. Like I don't even think my brain was recognizing that I was doing it. So if nothing else, just her bringing that to light was super helpful in and of itself.
See?
One layer, right?
Yes, yes. And like to me, so there's this little thing that we do, because I know that sometimes like I fall unconscious and I start. So I told him, okay, Kai, just help mommy. Just when you see me like literally, just like stop me and say, mommy, remember. Because when I'm just stop and pause and like remember, yes, that I just completely forgot what's going on here. And you know what happens? you're not in your mind, and I start laughing, and I'm not upset anymore, because why should I?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, mom, remember, yes,
That's so cute
because
though.
this is what we're doing. We come and we have this amnesia, and we have to unlearn to then relearn who we truly are, and so remember who we truly are.
Yeah. Well, but even just getting caught up in it. Like I said, some people are stuck in that negative loop.
Yeah.
As grounded and aligned as you are, you have those moments too.
Of
And
course, yes.
I'm on this journey, and I'm it's not so black and white, you know.
I used to listen to people like even mentors, like those spiritual gurus that are all day, and you have to think positive. But it is not true, because we are still humans. So
Yeah.
what we do instead, we have negative thoughts. Okay, I have it. Okay, I've been okay, not as good as I wish, but it's okay. It's okay. Okay, thought, go out and let me refocus. This is the reality, not the all day, because it's not.
Yeah. Well, especially like it's bound to happen, right? Because we're human.
Yes.
But then to be able to show that authenticity to our kids too.
Yes.
You know what I
Yes.
mean? I think for a bit there, still maybe even, my daughter puts me on this pedestal, and how sweet, right? But I'm working on things just like you're working
Yeah,
on things,
yeah.
just like the rest of us are, right?
Yeah.
And there's no rhyme or reason or roadmap. We're kind of
no
figuring it as we go.
instructions. Not at all. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Yeah.
But I think that having that intention in just raising our kids alone, I'm with that intention. I've now tried eating healthier or being more physical, working out, stuff like that.
Definitely.
All good things to teach her.
Yes, because sometimes when I like snap and I fall unconscious, I'm like, did I just mess him up? And I'm like, okay, like I stop and I'm like, okay, first of all, I guess he has to learn. But then I go and I just like tell him, okay, this is what happened. This is what mommy like just said. And like I try to do things that my parents didn't do with me. And again,
Yeah.
with love for them, because I had a beautiful like childhood, but it's like I'm more aware, I'm more conscious. So I wanna help him.
Absolutely. And I love that you say like a good childhood, you don't necessarily have a bad childhood to take these limiting beliefs with
Oh,
you.
no.
I know plenty of very successful families
Yes.
or like keeping up with the Joneses, like from the outside, everything looks beautiful, right? Or they seem that they have it all together, but everybody has something.
And of course, because the traumas, I used to associate trauma with a big tragedy.
Oh, it could be anything.
So,
Could be
but
something you
it's
saw
like
on TV.
The little
Yeah.
things that pile up until you have this weight on your shoulders, and then one day you wake up, you're like, oh, I can't take this anymore. But life seems so good. So what's wrong? What is it? I don't know, because I can fix it. And then I started working with my coach. And I remember the first time it was like, oh, so how are you doing? What do you want to work on? Oh, I'm fine.
I'm cured.
I'm fine. And I was like, fine is the worst. Like,
I hate that word.
upset. I don't know. I like, but I'm fine. Behind it, there's.
So I've got to tell you, I was always told at a young age in therapy settings that FINE stands for effed up, insecure, neurotic, and emotional.
It was me.
Whenever we say, oh, I'm fine, they'd be like, well, really?
Yeah.
And we'd be like, okay, let me give you some real emotions or feelings here.
Yes.
Very much so.
Yeah.
And with the little ones, navigating the differences too. So that's something that I'm figuring out. I guess I'm learning my daughter, right? And her personality, because up to this point, I had been parenting little me. And she is there's similarities, but she's not
but
little
she's
me.
her own
Right.
person. She's
Right.
his own person. Yeah.
And navigating through that, because again, there's no manual for it.
Yeah.
She has really taken an interest in all of the things we were doing in the over the weekend. She really wanted to be a part of, and
yes.
doing the artwork and the
artwork
different
for sure. Yeah.
different things that we were doing. And it was so fulfilling to see her chasing that same enlightenment
Yes.
and wanting to do. Nobody told her to do it.
She did a cold plunge.
She did the cold plunge.
Yeah.
A little emotional support baby.
Yeah,
She did
yeah.
the cold plunge. I was in tears. It was such a proud moment, beautiful. Like there's money can't buy the kind of peace that we experienced.
I honestly think that we're so and it's not it's gratitude and it's not we're so lucky because there's no luck, but see that they see what we do and they want to do it and they get inspired and we get inspired by them instead of, oh yeah, I'm here watching TV.
No, yeah,
Yes,
absolutely.
I'm here at 8 and I'm 8 years old and I'm doing the cold plunge.
I know.
Resetting my nervous system. Boom. Yes.
Boom. And she was so calm when she did it.
Yes.
I didn't do it that gracefully. And I was like, gosh, get it, girl. I was thoroughly impressed. And I think it's just teaching them to step out of their comfort zones too.
Yeah.
That's what I think I'm doing. You had said earlier that, women in this burnout, and that described me to a T, I'd say early this year. I was really struggling and I didn't understand why, because so many great things were happening in our favor. We bought a house, opened a business, the business is successful. Why do I feel like this? Why am I not on cloud 9, just enjoying every moment of it? And the universe, God brought Tony, brought some really strong women into my life that kind of just, oh, well, this is why. And it's been like ever since, little light bulbs. And that's why you said the layers, because not that I fear, but I know I have many. I think I'm a really, really big onion with many, 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 many layers.
Big onion.
But I did, like, over the weekend, I pulled up memories I didn't remember.
You didn't remember, exactly.
So
they're stuck.
Think I've learned to put those walls up. And that's where I say I think I've kind of separated my analytical mind from my body. And I say all this to say, like, it starts with us. I can't teach her and I can't show her genuine love until I solve the puzzle within me.
Yes. I speak with so many women, and a lot of them, the majority, are moms. And I'm like, work on yourself. Oh, no, I can't because I don't have time. I have...
We neglect
and
ourselves.
all those excuses, because they are excuses, because we can find the time if we want. And we have to understand that if we don't pour into our own cup, how can we fill their cups?
Mm-hmm.
How? Because I see it and I do it. And again, I'm not like, then I'm sometimes, because I'm not grounded.
Yeah.
I am not aligned. And so when I am, oh my God, I'm a completely different person.
A hurricane could come through and you'd be good.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. I say to so many women this all the time.
I agree. I definitely have noticed before I started this journey, my threshold being different at different times.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I'm like super fun mom and my patience is abundant.
Yeah.
So abundant.
Yes.
And then sometimes it's like just the mommy sets me off.
Yeah.
by that third one, I'm like, what? And it's just so like polar opposites. And this kind of goes back to what I was saying about diagnoses. Bipolar was my diagnosis.
Mm-hmm.
And not that I'm bipolar, but that we're multi-dimensional or I can have the utmost patience in the world, but what did my day look like?
Yeah.
What was, leading up to that? And then when I don't have patience, let's assess, well, why?
Yeah.
What kind of outward components fed into that? Because that's what it is. It's the outside world dysregulating us.
Because we're not anchored. Because if you are the outside world, a person, a circumstance that cannot affect you.
Mm. That sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
Hashtag goals.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But I do. I feel like there was days where I felt stronger and days where I felt weaker.
Yeah.
And I think the transparency is good to show the kids too, so that they don't feel like, oh, what's wrong with me? I have these big, hey, we all have these feelings,
Yes.
right?
Yeah,
And that's
we
a
do.
big reason for this podcast too, is to just put it out there. Social media makes everything look so
Perfect.
beautiful and
Yeah.
wonderful
Yes.
and nice. And that's great. I like beauty. We all do.
Yeah, we all do.
But
yes, but it's not realistic.
real. It's
yeah.
not real.
No.
It's not authentic,
No.
and it's not lasting.
Yes.
It's fleeting.
Yeah.
If we go by images, I mean, I hope I live to 80 plus, but I'm not going to be young and youthful and beautiful.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yes.
mean? We can't hold on to those kind of things, because then we're then teaching our children that. And then, okay, so if you have a pimple, you're going to feel like garbage for,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
I mean, guys.
I love you so much. You are such a courageous soul.
Embrace it all.
Yes.
There you go.
I love it.
With my little swollen forehead also here, I don't know.
But you took it like a champ. When you told me the news, I would have never guessed it. You had such anchor.
Well, but you
and
know
grounding.
why? Because I have belief. So I really believe that I was just okay. So I'm not focusing on it. I'm not creating that reality.
I
And
get
so,
that. I attribute it to faith.
Yes,
When
to
I feel
faith.
that,
Yeah.
there's certain times that I just know, and I call it favor. And I just know that we're okay. We're going to be
Yeah.
good. We're
Yeah.
going to be okay. And that's what I chuck it up to. Like we have favor.
Yeah.
But I didn't always feel like that,
No, of
so it's
course.
interesting
Yes.
how the dynamics change.
Yeah, and my old me would probably, I would have probably told you, oh no, I can't come today to the podcast because how can I show? First of all, there's a hat, or who cares? I mean, that's fine. I'm fine. I'm healthy. I'm grateful. So what's the matter? Progress over perfection. We're not perfection. Vulnerability also to share, because so many
Yes.
people feel alone or feel that it's happening only to them,
Yes.
and it's happening for us. So,
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
and I love that you show that vulnerability, because I admire you. I admire your energy. I admire the way you mother. There's a lot that I admire about you. So then you shared with me what you were going through, and for perspective for me, I was like, gosh, I would have never guessed she has this calmness, this calm energy and aura to her that I never would have thought that something stressful was going on in your life, let alone we didn't just have a conversation or meet for coffee. We went on a full-blown retreat
Yes.
where you administered healing to others.
Yeah.
I have such chills, and I'm not cold right now.
Well, when I was at the doctor office and he was talking to me, I started I started like, okay, let me just pause here, not listening to you anymore. I literally just, I started breathing and I back to my body. Okay, we're safe. Okay, we're good. Are you okay? Yes, keep going. And that's it. From that moment, I knew that I was fine. Yeah.
You did. And the light in your eyes and the relaxedness, like you have your muscles, like you've just had this, everything's going to be not just fine, great.
Yeah.
Everything's going to be great.
Yeah.
And it's extremely inspiring. And again, how can one be inspired if they don't know the struggle that led up to that?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's huge. Again, not that you mustered up the energy for yourself, but you mustered up the energy for others who are struggling, to give them that knowledge and that outlet. I mean, adults, children. Like
Yeah.
there was a lot of magic that took place, you know,
Yeah.
and at a very vulnerable time for you.
Yeah.
And your son was there. So you're a mother, you're a healer, you're in your, business element as
And I
well.
also had the most incredible experience with breath work.
You did.
Yes, it was incredible.
It was
Yes.
exactly what you needed.
Yes,
It was
exactly.
delivered to you
Yes,
right when you needed it.
exactly, exactly. And what I'm learning now, I'm all about masculine and feminine energy, and I'm learning that definitely throughout the years and through this journey and awakening, because I am a woman, my feminine awakened. So the softness, the creativity, the flow, the receiving, the embracing, but um the feminine wants to be held, of course, and supported, but by the masculine redefine in me. So I got it wrong because I was also looking from me too. I was looking from outside sources. So
Mm.
the feminine is embodied, but I'm looking for a masculine energy outside. But we all
Within us.
men and women, they have feminine and masculine, and we do have both. So the feminine in me finally met the masculine energy that is redefined and can hold her. So it's just, and this happened literally the last few days with my little scar here. So this is why it happened for me.
You were ready. It was the right
Yes,
timing.
yes,
And same, I've always embodied that masculine. So I always was like, I'm really strong. I can overcome
yes,
anything. And I'm realizing that's beautiful. And I don't want to lose that part of me. But it's also held me back from my true, self or my true form. It was more of a defense
mm-hmm.
than a survival mode, we'll
Yes,
say.
yes,
When you can't find it externally, you become it, right?
yeah,
But too much of anything is
yeah,
bad. I
yes,
mean,
yeah,
potato chips even, right?
yes,
So too much of
yes.
anything. And we've discussed that, the duality of not just masculine and feminine, but of good and bad, of left and right, of
Yeah,
up and
everything. Yeah,
down,
the moon and the sun. Yeah,
Yeah.
yes. It's duality and balance.
And acceptance of
Yes,
that. Because
yeah, and um detachment. Because if
mm,
there's attachment to the thing, there's no balance, there's no peace, there's no presence. Yeah.
it's magnified. So I'm realizing that there's attachments and there's walls, right? And I really was able to break that down, maybe just being in an environment with my daughter so I could turn my phone off and not
Yes.
worry.
Yeah.
I could see she was thriving and enjoying herself. But to be able to really focus, I mean, I had memories come back. I have a really hard time meditating. That was like the best I've ever done or the most descriptive
Yes.
for me.
Yeah.
And I feel like it was over the years, many, many years of me building this really thick wall.
But let me tell you something, because so many people tell me, oh, yeah, but I can meditate. So there's no wrong way to meditate.
Mm.
I meditate daily, and sometimes I'm like there in the morning and I'm just thinking, what am I gonna eat for lunch? Okay, that's not the thought that I want to have while
Right.
meditating. It's okay. Just let me go out of my mind. Let me refocus. It's the
Intention.
the overcoming is the becoming process. So we're overcoming ourselves and our mind, and we're there present, even just like for a few seconds, a few minutes, because you build it up. It's just like going to the gym. You have to build the muscle. So there's
Yeah.
no, oh no, I can't meditate, so I'm not gonna do it.
Well, it goes back to like when we feel insecure or not worthy or not good enough. So I think I can speak only for myself, but when I would be in that situation, I'd be like, I'm not doing it right. A lot of negative self-talk,
Yeah.
and you just kind of talk yourself out of it. So then it's like, well, why even try? Why even bother?
Yeah.
I started like working out, and I think I was always really insecure about like working out in a gym. Like my form's not right. I'm not doing this right. The universe, God sent me, people and a gym that they don't care. Like you can fall over, you can punch the wrong way.
Yeah.
They're just proud that you're in there and you're doing it and you're showing up. And that really helped me get past it. I've never had like a workout routine because of that insecurity. I've neglected my body.
We think that the world is watching us and looking at us, but nobody's watching. Nobody.
That's very self-centered of us.
Yes,
it really is.
No, because I mean,
You're so right. I used to think like when I'd be driving, like if there was someone in my peripheral, like, oh, they're looking. No, they're not. They're looking at the road so they don't crash. Like what? They're not looking at you singing or well, and it was an insecurity. Like, oh, if they turned right now, I'm really into this. Like, so who cares?
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, I sing in the car.
Oh, I soul search in the car, girl. It's just for me and Jesus and nobody else. But it's good. It's good to have that space and find that whatever fuels your soul. For me, it's always been music.
Yeah.
And I learned that this week too, that humming and singing stimulates your vagus nerve and all of the benefits of that.
Vibrations in the body.
Oh, yeah. And I just knew I liked it, but I didn't understand fully why. And I'll hum as I work. I'm almost always singing,
Sound music is one of the most ancient healing techniques.
Yeah. In the Bible, it was the first.
Yes.
I had to speak to say that then there was light, it's definitely something powerful to it. And I don't know that everybody is as connected, but I feel it. And I want my daughter to have that connection and that outlet.
Yeah.
And that's what it comes down to. Healthy coping skills. I would love for her when she gets worked up or in that space, because it's bound to happen, right?
Of course, yes.
That her first reaction be, let me box breathe. Let me go for a walk. Whatever does it for her. Let me sing a song.
Yeah, let me dance. Let me move. Let me shake. Let me scream.
Yes. Well, and that too. It's okay to scream.
Yes.
I've always been like, you're being too loud. You can't, no, go scream. If you need to scream and cry it out, go do that.
Yeah.
Because
you have to let the energy out.
I'm starting to realize that it's literal energy. Like overcharged. No wonder we feel burnt out. Yeah. We overcharged our batteries.
Yeah.
I agree. And I think there's so much to discuss on this topic. Again, you've opened my eyes and I'm diving right in. I hope to continue to dive right in. And I think what we're doing is beautiful for our children, for the next generation, for other women who maybe feel the same way or something we've said resonates with them. I hope they know they're not alone and that there's a whole community of women here ready and willing to support.
They can take a little piece that they resonated with and they can throw the rest
Leave
away.
the rest. Take what you need and leave what you don't.
Yeah.
So our time has flown by and I want to make sure we're there to get the kiddos on time. So thank you so much for sharing, for being vulnerable, for being authentic and just being yourself. I love you.
I love you too. Thanks.
Until next time, we appreciate you hanging out with us. Again, please follow, subscribe. If you guys have any topics or requests, we would love to hear it. If you enjoyed what you heard today, please reach out to Valentina. Where the Magic Happens is her business, and she's working miracles daily. And till next time, we'll see you guys then.